Hello everyone, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day and making some really good trades, and let's get right into it. And I was just looking at the 2-year yields just now, and it is definitely looking bullish for yields at the moment. So we could very well keep going higher, just like the Qs, except in the 2-year yield this time. And we'll get into some of the analysis and yields in just one moment, but let's cover Bitcoin first, because Bitcoin just got a very big drop near the end of the day. Everything was going well, sideways chop, Bitcoin not doing much. Even with that even with the FOMC meeting and the Fed pausing today, we saw that Bitcoin pumped up to 26,300, and it ended up dropping near the end of the day all the way down to 24,800. Again, we could see that we almost tagged that $25,200 level many times, and again, this would have invalidated it. After all, we almost tagged it, so I guess you got a little bit of front running there, and now we closed underneath this level. So at the moment, Bitcoin is looking definitely bearish, and I've told you guys many times before that we might have to look for lower levels before longing Bitcoin, as the daily is looking bearish, the weekly is looking bearish, and the 4-hour right now is looking very bearish as well. You guys can see that red money flow is still there, the daily time frame and the weekly time frame, red money flow. So please don't discount these indicators on Market Cipher. It is very helpful and useful in finding bottoms and tops. So you guys can see Bitcoin right now with a 17 and a -5 red X on that weekly time frame, daily time frame with a 21 and a -5. So you can see we got some manipulation near the end of the day, but it's definitely going to push Bitcoin down significantly lower here. So again, my next level for Bitcoin would be right around 23,900 to 23,300. I think you're going to start to find some support right around that area. After that, I think you have an upsloping trend line as well. So let's just take a look here. So you do have this yellow upsloping trend line. If you were to shoot down right away, you would find some support right around 24,000 to 23,900. Let me just get a little bit of a better picture there. There you go. So right around here, 24,000. You could definitely get a wick down to 23,300 to 23,900. So don't get me wrong. Just because there's an upsloping trend line here does not mean it has to hold as support. It could very well break down and keep breaking down until it finds its bottom. So right now, no signal. There's no bottom in sight. The trend is going to be towards the downside, but I am starting to accumulate and nibbling on some small long positions on some altcoins. Again, this can be very risky, because alts right now are in trouble considering everything that's going on with the SEC. They're suing Coinbase, they're suing Binance, suing everyone. Everyone's getting sued. Everyone's getting a lawsuit at the moment. All right, but let's keep going here. Let's take a look at Bitcoin on Wave Edge. So again, just a bunch of liquidations these last few days, and now we're just starting to bleed towards the downside. You're really not seeing any interest at these levels here. So again, you might have to go lower. And again, I'm still going to be looking around the $23,000 area. That's going to 23 to 24 now. Now that 25 is not holding, I have not entered a long position on Bitcoin yet, and I'll let you guys know when I do in the Discord. Now let's get over to the traditional markets here. Let's take a look at the Qs. Again, another up day in the Qs. It never ends, right? It keeps on going up. And I'll take a look at the Nasdaq, which is the same thing as the Qs, right? And essentially, you guys can see this massive parabolic move in the Qs. And congratulations to the bulls that have longed this, because right now you guys are up over let me just get this out of the way. There you go. You guys are up over 40%, right, from this rally. Or if you're going from the lows here of October, then you're up even more. You're up 45%. And again, when is this rally going to end? And eventually this move will correct. The market moves in waves, right? Nothing goes up in a straight line. Although right now this move is starting to look definitely parabolic. So at the moment, I think you are starting to run into some resistance. Again, today, even though we saw, it closed into an update, we are down in the overnight markets, but doesn't mean that this move can't stop moving up. We could very easily come to test a resistance right around 15,326. You have this blue trend line here. I mean, I drew a couple other ones the other day, thinking we would run into some heavy resistance around 14,500, which we did. We did run into some resistance, some chop, we consolidated, and then we moved higher. And again, you're still overbought on the RSI here. It's at 75 on the Nasdaq. You can see a lot of these stocks are still in the stratosphere here, but we just got our first victim today, in the AI stocks. You can see that MVIS was, in the stratosphere, RSI of 91, and then you finally pulled back. You came in hard today. I mean, you came in hard a couple of days now. And again, those who shorted this, I mean, it's kind of hard to time the short on this one because, it's just so parabolic. It keeps going up. It looks like there's no end in sight. And then you finally drop hard like a rock. And it came back down to reality. And I think there's still a lot more to go here. I think you may even come back down to $2.50 on the VIS. And you can see a lot of these similar stocks are doing similar moves, like SMCI up in the stratosphere, right? TSM up in the stratosphere, although this one is not as high because it's Taiwan Semiconductors. Nvidia, Nvidia made a new all-time high today, and again, it's also in the stratosphere. You can see that the RSI was actually at 85. It pulled back down, it consolidated, and now you're starting to move higher. But right now, you are starting to get a lot of profit taking at these levels. You are forming, at the moment, I mean, for the time being, you are forming a bearish divergence on the daily time frame. You have a higher high and you have a lower high on the RSI. So we'll see how long this divergence can go. But eventually, you will pull back in Nvidia. You will pull back in all of these AI stocks that are, mooning towards the upside. You can see that AI came all the way back to its high at $42, and it is now running into resistance as well. And again, a lot of people are still very bullish. They're still buying here, expecting another 100% pump from these lows. And then again, could that happen? It could. Anything can happen. But again, I really doubt that, we will keep moving like we have been, with the Nasdaq, the Qs. Anyone that does technical analysis can tell you that you are extremely overbought at the moment. You are long into the tooth. And yes, it can keep moving higher. But once that pullback comes, it's going to be violent. It's going to hurt. A lot of people are going to panic and they're going to get out of their positions. Same thing right here, Broadcom. You can see this massive, wick right here, this topping tail. You've consolidated. Now you're starting to move higher with the Qs, right? You're just mooning once again. And then you're seeing, who is buying this at these levels? To me, it's insane. And then so you see Tom Lee on CNBC. These stocks are cheap. Buy them here. Buy them now. They're going to keep going up. They're going to keep going up forever, right? And the reality of the situation is that eventually, the market's gonna figure it out, and then they're gonna start unloading, and the retail investor is gonna get trapped at the top. And these things always play out like this. I can probably give you a few examples. Maybe you can go back to Amazon back in the day in the 2000s, the dot-com bubble. And I'm not saying that we're in the dot-com bubble, but you can see, you crash down, you come back up, you're in the stratosphere, and then you start to crash down way hard. You can see Amazon came down to 27 cents a share at one point. That was an insane drop. This went down 95%. It's absolutely crazy. And today it's back up to 126. So they did many stock splits, I believe. I could probably zoom out here. Stock split. And then you did another one right here, a stock split. But I believe this was when this was a big stock split. It was 20-1 when the shares were at $3,000. Anyways, that's enough for the Nasdaq and these stocks here. But you guys get the picture. We're long in the tooth here. We're overbought. Not only are we overbought on the Nasdaq, but the S&P as well. And I don't think the Russell or the Dow Jones are overbought because we've been getting some pretty healthy pullbacks today. Today, the Dow Jones actually ended up in the red. Same thing for the Russell 2000. Again, there's a lot of garbage stocks in here. But again, if we can hold this 200-day moving average as a support, then you might get a bounce in the Russell and you could very well keep going high. But again, you are going to get a pullback. All right, moving along here, let's take a look at the 2-year yield, something I wanted to talk about because again, if the yields keep going up, the Fed is going to feel the pressure to keep raising those rates. So at the moment, the 2-year is below the Fed's fund rate. The Fed fund rate is at 5.25%. But if this starts to move up towards the upside near the 5% range, the Fed is going to have to keep raising rates. So a lot of people are thinking today was the pause that will, end the entire cycle. Even though they're saying they're going to raise next month, what did I just say? They said they were going to keep raising next month, but some people are saying that the pause is now. But if the 2-year yield keeps moving up, this is going to signal and confirm that the Fed is going to have to keep raising rates regardless, because inflation is very sticky. And again, the CPI can go down to 4%, but once you dig into the data, you can see that food inflation and a lot of the stuff is consistently going up. It's still going up. You can see that sugar is still near its all-time highs here. And I believe, sorry, sugar was all-time, I was like 66 here. And you can see that's 25, but still it's up like a significant amount from its lows, over 182%. Absolutely insane. You can see the same thing for cocoa. You can take a look at, I think this one pulled back to the live cattle. Oh no, live cattle is still in the stratosphere. It's still up there, so beef is still very expensive. Again, you guys can take a look at all those futures for food and stuff like that. You guys can see that everything is still in the stratosphere. Inflation is very hard to get rid of. All right, now the problem is, you know, these markets are not giving in, but eventually they will, so just be patient. All right, let's take a look at oil here. So oil currently down today on the move. It was actually up on the day, and then it ended up rolling back down. And right now, oil is starting to look very bearish to me. Let's take a look at oil on Market Cipher and see what we can see here on the daily time frame. So you can see we got some red money flow. The weekly time frame is looking very bearish, though, in my opinion. You got increasing red money flow. You have no bottom in sight on the momentum waves. This thing looks like it's about to make a lower low, probably down to 50. The $50 range would be my target, right around $50 to $55. That's where I think oil is going to find its bottom. Taking a look at the monthly time frame, also looking very bearish as well. So I expect oil to break these lows here at 65. And once you start to get going, I think the market's going to go along with it, because that's going to be a sign that a recession is coming, and it's going to be a very difficult recession to get out of. All right, taking a look at natural gas here. So natural gas is actually acting very well considering oil is going down consistently. Nat gas is holding its levels at the moment, but if it starts to give, you could technically break this triangle and start to make a lower low. So again, we really need nat gas to start to break out sooner than later. And looking at Market Cipher, natural gas is looking very promising on the daily time frame. You almost exited that red money flow. You're starting to cut back into the green. The momentum waves are going up. You just got a reversal sign here on Market Cipher, but again, we'll see if that one plays out. If it does play out, you might get a pump, and then you're going to get a big dump towards the downside afterwards. But if not, then you are, going to keep moving up towards the upside slowly and steadily. You really need to take out the highs here right around $2.50 to $2.60. Once you can get above that, I think you're going to get a very big short squeeze towards the upside, and this could propel you to $3.20 to as high as $3.60. So we'll see how this one plays out. All right, taking a look at gold here. Gold was down on the day as the dollar gold was up on the day, and then it ended up being down, even with the dollar being down as well. But the DXY started to uptick at the moment. So if the DXY starts to push higher, which it is at the moment, then you're going to see gold go lower. And this is something I've been warning about. And just to be careful, you guys want to see gold hold this level at 1915. If that doesn't hold, then you're going to get some support at 1872, and if that doesn't hold, then you're gonna get some major support right around the $1,800 level. But looking at the RSI, I'm not so sure that we're gonna drop that low on gold. But although you never know what can happen in these markets. All right, taking a look at silver here. Silver actually coming down as well as the DXY starts to pump up. Again, I like silver at $22.21. I think this green box area is going to be a good amount of support, and you might want to start accumulating some silver positions here, either on SLV or some miners or bullion, whatever you want. Again, none of this is financial advice. Please do your own research when you're making your trades in the markets, and we'll see how everything plays out in the coming days, in the coming weeks. Markets are showing signs of non-stop bullishness. Everyone is bullish, and usually when that happens, you usually want to start to take some profits, get into some short positions, or at least play it safe and just get into cash and wait it out. Because right now you're getting extreme amounts of FOMO. You're getting extreme amounts of greeds, and the put call ratio is off the charts. I think it's at 0.56. So again, anything below 0.7, underneath 0.7, is really, it's bullish. Anything under 0.5 is extremely bullish, and that's when you can see that that's usually when you're starting to make your market tops, once you reach a 0.5, anything under 0.5. But we'll see. Again, I think the Nasdaq, I mean, at this point, it wouldn't be outlandish to say that we could easily pump 2%, but when this starts to retrace, this is going to be a 15%, 10% move towards the downside. You might even come back down and retest 13,728. And I know this, this may seem unrealistic at these levels because we're so high in the sky, we're in the stratosphere. It looks like it's never going to end. But when everything will come to an end, this will come crashing down very quickly. You're going to fill a lot of gaps on the Qs. And I mean, you have been creating a lot of gaps on the Qs. I think there's a gap down here. There's a gap down here. There's a gap here. I mean, there's gaps all over the place. You've been gapping up nonstop on the Qs. Eventually, the party's going to end, and we'll see. I think we're going to tag the 370 level. It's only 1% higher. And anyways, I'll follow up with you guys inside the Discord. Thanks for watching my videos. Love you all. Peace.